Mm. Mm. And I may be live for all I know. Beautiful. Tiago, how are you, sir? We will figure this out. All right. So this is our market recap. If this comes through, great. If not, I'm going to have to figure out my side of it. Cam usually produces the live part of the show. We're still learning. Want to come in and kind of talk about the market today. You know, we are making a big push. There's no doubt about it. We're really doing some big things over at Tackle Trading lately, and we have big plans. There's no question. And part of that is YouTube and connecting with our audience. We have a philosophy that there's no such thing as too much, you know. And if you ever feel like, okay, I can't absorb all the content or all the things or all the blogs, that's normal. You're not supposed to do everything, but you have to run your daily routine. Now, if you run your daily routine in the morning, great. If you don't do it until the evening, well, that kind of can change some of the nature of it, right? And so what I want to do right now is show you what we do after the market to go in and kind of recap and review what is happening from that perspective, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. And that's me on YouTube. Now things are going to get real meta. There we are. I'm going to move that around. Check this recap. You, great, Tim. Hey, Tiago, I'm doing great, my friend. Okay. Let's go through things pretty quickly. Number one, the Dow Jones Industrial was up 70 points today. And what I always do is kind of take a look at the indexes. Early in the morning, the market was opening with some strength. In some regard yesterday, but not really today. I mean, if you look at the follow through, little tiny doji candlestick, not much to see here. S&P is range up, just like we talked about earlier. Low to high, low to high, low to high, low to high. The current move started at about 26.90. We're at 28.14 on a breakout after about 2 or 3 weeks of upward movement. There's some concern there, but we're going to get more data through the week. Positives today were companies like Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley had an upward gap, but it's still in a very bearish condition. The thing about Morgan Stanley is it was an indicator that the financial sector is doing well. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, so many of these different companies came out and did well recently. So something to look at. There's no doubt about it. You know, it's an interesting thing when the financial sector leads the way. Berkshire Hathaway, gap out on strength on some of the news about Warren Buffett's company. This is one of my favorite companies. There's no doubt about it. So this upward gap, this breakout, this sign of strength is very interesting to me. You know, so we're at 196 and, you know, counting, went up to 200. This is a major layer of resistance right here. We're going to need to get some follow through, okay? Netflix, the day after the earnings. Gap down, backfill, red candle, pivot. Should be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. You could get some confirmation. Coach Matt was talking about how he would not trade anything with this right now. I actually think you could play something directionally if you get the right move from that tomorrow. The overall movement was down on the negative earnings. A confirmation candlestick, it would be a risky play, but that is technically a good, sound, solid play. At 380, that's old support developing in as potentially new resistance and a catalyst zone. You know, let me look here. Slow down here and make sure I got things working right. Megaphones. Yeah, megaphones. C'est la vie. Now what I'm going to do is look at my other computer and make sure it's coming through. I'm not the most tech savvy right now. I feel like I am failing from that perspective. Let's see if we are live now. My channel. We are live now. Hey, welcome. We are live now. Beautiful. And I see you, Tiago. Tiago, what are you trading right now, by the way? What are you playing right now in the market? The other thing that I always like to do at the post of the market is kind of think about tomorrow and how I'm going to set up my expectations from a market perspective. Nothing really changed late day. You know, the advancers were much stronger than the decliners on the S&P 500, but it's not like the market really sold off late day or anything else. I'm probably going to be prepping for tomorrow's market condition, okay, and try to get that set up. Actually, let's go look at a couple of things I would look at. Number one, the economic calendar. Inside the trade center at Tackle Trading, AMTD and Nike. Great to see you, James. All right, very good. If we're peeking ahead for tomorrow's trading day, there's several things that I would look at, okay? The economic calendar. I would also, and I always go into FinViz and start thinking about the earnings reports that are going to come out. Many times the stocks that are hitting the news headlines on a daily basis are the ones that had earnings that day. And so you can start to plan and prep in that regard. I'm going to log out of Thinkorswim. I might have too many things open right now. Okay, so let me do that. I'll look at FinViz. We're going to look at the calendar and we're going to start to plan and prep. There we are. Okay, so this one is 7/18. I'll click on that calendar date. I'll look at the 19th and I'll click apply. Jobless claims, initial jobless claims, those things happen every week. I don't even really care too much unless there's a shock, and usually the market will tell me. The big event tomorrow will be in the pre-market at 8:30 a.m. pre-market time, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. Business conditions, employment, nothing really to see here tomorrow, guys. There's not a lot going on. So it's going to be a light day from that perspective. On the 20th, which will be Friday, let's go take a look at that. Friday, we've got the OPEC meeting, which obviously more volatility potentially in the oil sector, okay? You've got gold. You got some CFTC stuff that settles in the afternoon, but that happens every week. The Baker Hughes oil rig count, so Friday might be a day for oil and whatnot. Come back here and look at FinViz. I have a pre-built scan in FinViz where I go and look at the next 5 days for earnings. Large cap earnings next 5 days. Now, these are major companies that will be coming out with earnings here shortly that you have to pay attention to. I'm going to organize based on market capitalization. Microsoft has earnings coming up. That'll be a big one. Put that on your watch list, guys. That's July 19A. That's tomorrow morning, so Microsoft will have earnings coming up. Let me look at that one in a little bit more detail. Obviously, you got Novartis, Taiwan Semiconductors, Internet, IBM will have earnings coming up. That's $130 billion company still at this point. Major player, obviously. That was this morning. UNP already played that. I think we're good to go. So you got Microsoft is going to be your big one tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be in the news. I'm sure people will be paying attention to it. If I change this to next week to kind of preview next week's earnings, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Visa, Royal Dutch, Intel, AT&T, Chevron, Boeing, MasterCard. Holy cow, this is like the 27 Yankees next week, okay? So next week is a key week for earnings season. And if the market's going to have any kind of follow through and volatility, we're going to have some of these companies that come out with earnings on the 23rd, the 25th, the 26th, 27th, really do something with that. Now, from a market recap perspective, that's it for today. One thing I'll always recommend very strongly is that you go to the market skyline. So many of the charts and so much of the information that we do is going to be in that skyline each and every day, okay? And start building your daily routine around that. Guys, this was my first test doing this on my own. Tell me it's okay. Tell me I did good, all right? I know that it was just okay. I'm still trying to, at least I didn't accidentally have my finger up my nose or something when I started. C'est la vie. You got to make a joke sometime. Thanks for being here, guys. We're going to do more of this stuff. We're just going to have some fun with this and make it organic and, make it fun. All right. In 1 hour, I'm doing a live webinar, by the way, for our premium members at Tackle Trading, where we're going to build the 60-day September Iron Condor on the Russell 2000. Okay. And the Russell 2000 Condor system is incredible. It's a cash flow system. It's high probability. And Tyler and I are going to go in and we're going to talk about how to build it, how to put the new trade on, how to give that bird some wings and let it take flight. And it's an advanced strategy. It is a great system. Let me find that one as well. Courses, Condors for cash flow right here. And we're going to have some fun with that. If you are a pro member, premium member at Tackle Trading, I'll see you guys over there in about an hour. Okay. And I don't know if I'm off YouTube yet. Still trying to figure it out. Stop on the live stream. See you in a bit, guys.